Hello my dears, welcome back to Let It Cook cooking channel. Today we're including the vegans too and making a really delicious vegan gravy. For this we need olive oil, salt, pepper, brown sugar, red wine, port wine, celery root, dried mushrooms, button mushrooms, tomato paste, parsnip, carrot, garlic, miso paste, tomatoes, rosemary, thyme, bay leaf, onions, and leek. Quite a lot of ingredients, yeah I know, but we want to make something vegetarian that really tastes amazing. I don't just want a bad substitute product, so give it a try at home. Especially if you have a vegetarian coming over for dinner, make this once a year, freeze it, it tastes really, really delicious. We especially need these mushrooms and the dried mushrooms for the umami in the sauce. And when we're done with it, even the meat eaters will enjoy eating it, so give it a try. Really important, always a large amount of onions. We add those first along with the hard ingredients. What are the hard ingredients? Carrot, parsnip, you can also add parsley root. I mean, these are just things I happen to have right now. If you have other vegetables, you can add those too. That's no problem at all. There are no limits to your imagination. Now I'm adding a bit of celery root. You can also use celery stalks, or if you don't like celery that much, just use less. It's really just a matter of taste. While that's sizzling a bit, I can go ahead and cut the mushrooms a little more. Yeah, you can just halve them. If you want a Leonard Gachmesser, the link is above. I'll go ahead and halve those as well. That's not really all that important right now, because the whole thing is going to cook for quite a long time and then get strained out afterwards. So don't put too much effort into it when you're doing something like this and you're buying new ingredients like the leek here. With the mushrooms, well, I just didn't have anything else on hand. But with the leek, for example, I just used the green part from the back and the very front piece. And the premium part, basically the middle of the leek, I saved that for another dish. When you're making sauces, of course, you always use the carrot that's already a bit older, or the celery that's already a bit shriveled, because it has just as much flavor. There's really no difference at all. Okay. Now this is one of those things, we can already add the mushrooms, everything can get really nice and dark, okay? So you really have to roast it for a long time. We want to make a gravy, and a gravy is dark brown. Where does our color come from? From the browning. That means turn up the heat and let it roast. This base here is definitely going to roast for 15 minutes. Yeah? Until it's really nice and almost black, yeah? So don't be afraid of color, it really needs to be roasted thoroughly. I'll show you in a moment. When it looks about like this, so it's already turned a bit brown, then you can add the leek. You always have to be a bit more careful with that because it tends to burn easily, okay? So, add the leek, then just place the knife on the garlic cloves, cut downwards so you don't cut yourself. Give them a little smash, okay? Yeah? There you go, and add that in as well. And now keep roasting everything until it's nice and dark. Now we have a really nice deep color. You can already see it. Almost black, I'd say. Now the first thing to add is a good dollop of tomato paste. We'll let that toast for a bit now. You can already see that the bottom is pretty black now. And of course we have to be a bit careful with that. Because if the bottom gets too black, it'll turn bitter. Deglaze with half the wine. And always make sure to loosen the brown bits at the bottom with the wine. This is going to get really dark now. Now add the remaining wine. And now make sure to loosen everything down here. Look how beautiful it already looks. Yeah. Now let's lower the heat a bit, not so aggressive anymore. Once we've loosened everything nicely, the next thing to add is miso paste. It's incredibly important. It gives us that wonderful umami and a nice salty flavor. We're not adding any salt yet. We'll only salt at the very end, because it always depends a bit on what kind of miso paste you get. It's usually very salty. That means first let the whole thing cook down first. And then taste it, and then you'll see if you need more salt or anything else. We can also add the small tomatoes. Of course, you don't have to use such expensive cherry tomatoes. I just happen to have some in my fridge. I have some leftovers from the fridge that I kind of forgot about. Now people will complain again and say, tomatoes shouldn't go in the fridge, Petri. That's true, of course. But as for me, I like to eat cherry tomatoes cold. I know they lose a bit of flavor, but I just like it that way. So I keep them in the fridge. There, that looks really, really nice. That's exactly how it should be. Really dark and thick and glossy. Now I add a small pinch of brown sugar. But not too much because the carrot already has a lot of sugar anyway. So just a subtle amount. Now we add the port wine. You don't have to worry now, we're going to let this cook for an hour. Even if a child tries it, they're not going to drink 2 liters of the sauce, just a tablespoon or 2. When it has cooked for 2 or 3 hours, almost all of the alcohol has evaporated. And then you can easily give a little bit of it to a child, just be a bit careful with the amount. And now I'm adding the dried mushrooms. The dried mushrooms also help me to enhance that umami flavor. Mushrooms are generally always very good in the sauce, and I'm adding them together with the soaking water. We want to include the soaking water as well. It adds an incredible amount of flavor. And now I'm filling it up halfway with water. Add the spices. We can add them right away so you can see it. Add the spices, the bay leaf, the thyme, and the rosemary. Fill it up halfway with water and then let it cook for a good hour, an hour and a half, so that it can really cook down nicely and a really nice reduced cooking liquid develops. This is what it looks like when it's filled up with water, and now just let it cook for about 3/4 of an hour to an hour. Okay, my dears, the sauce has finished reducing and now we just need to strain it. Yes, we need to press it through a sieve like this and make sure everything comes out. Theoretically, you could also puree it first and then press it through the sieve. That's a bit easier than what I'm doing now, but it's better if you do it the way I'm doing it right now. That's why I'm putting in the effort, because it stays darker this way. If you puree it, it just gets a bit lighter, and I want to have a really nice gravy, so to speak. That's why now really press it through this fine sieve with some force. Yeah, exactly. Pass it through nicely, exactly. And then we have to throw away what's left in the sieve because all the flavor has been cooked out and there's nothing left in it. I'll just finish this quickly and then I'll show you. So, my dears, it's been strained and now take a look. It looks like a gravy, my dears. Dark brown, really nice and creamy. Any vegetarian you serve this to won't believe it's a vegetarian sauce. And now let's try it again. I've already tasted it and know it's delicious. Look. Let me tell you something, even meat eaters won't notice the difference, I promise you. There's so much umami in it. It's got such power, this stuff. You can easily use it for anything else as well. Try cooking it yourself, give it a shot, even if you're a meat lover. Try something new for a change. And now, have fun, good luck, see you again next week. Take care, bye, see you.